Hi guys, my name is Christine, and today I'm talking about you'll never suffer again. So, obviously, through this life, the Buddha once said, life is suffering, and it can very much well be like that. Okay, so how can we get to a place where we feel like we no longer have to suffer? Okay, and I think it's all about a certain kind of mindset, and also the actions that you're doing during your day-to-day life. Now, there's a quote that I love by Dale Carnegie, and I think that this sums it up perfectly. And that is, inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. If you want to conquer fear, do not sit at home and think about it. Go out and get busy. And basically what this means is that if you've got a lot of time on your hands to contemplate and to think and to stew over things, or maybe you spend a lot of your time reading news articles and looking up the day's events, and it can make you feel really because there's a lot of stuff in the world that's not nice. Okay, so if you're sort of diving into things about the world that are not that great, then you're gonna suffer because the things that you hear about in the news, and it's just not very nice. I mean, hardly ever do they publicize like really nice things, do they? Right? So if you've got a lot of time on your hands to just stew and contemplate different things, and even it might even be things that are going on in the world, it could be just things in your own life, then basically that's going to breed a lot of doubt and fear. And essentially, if you think about those two emotions, or those two things, doubt and fear, they're feelings of suffering, aren't they? Yeah? So if you want to conquer doubt and fear, the best thing to do is to be taking action on your goals that are inspiring to you, that make you feel ambitious, that make you feel really good. Because if you're busy taking action, and you're taking action on things that truly make you feel good and they inspire you, you don't really have time to think about other things because you're in a flow state. So for example, if your passion is writing and you love to write, then spend your days writing. Don't pay attention to what's going on. You can very much live with your head in the sand if you want to. You can live this life the way you want to live. You don't have to inundate yourself with worries and concerns of the world and with your own life. You could just do your action, take action on things. Okay? And that breeds confidence and courage because you don't have time because if you're working on something that you really love and you're passionate about, and you can get yourself into this flow state where you feel phenomenal, and I like to use the example of a writer, and you're just writing and just the words just flow off the page, and you feel really good. Yeah, you enter that flow state, and basically the whole world around you just falls away because you're just in the moment working. Like, for example, right now when I'm creating this video for you, I'm in a flow state. Everything around me is just gone, right? I'm just in the moment. And that's one of the best ways to be living your life day to day, whether it's through your work or whether it's through the work that you do when you get home or before you go to work, or if you're a student, maybe it's your student life. You're studying, you're trying to get that PhD, whatever it may be, or maybe it's the stuff you do around that activity. Whatever it is, you've got to find something for yourself that gets you into that flow state, that makes you feel phenomenal while you're doing it. Okay, for some people it could be running. They're really concentrating on the run, and like I said, the whole world just falls away because they're just focusing on putting one step in front of the other, and they're maybe listening to like a powerful music that just makes them feel really pumped up. These are great activities to do, and only you will know what that kind of activity is for you. Okay, but if you do that and you take action, you don't have time then to worry about the rest of the world or the other concerns in your life. If you want to worry about things and you want to suffer, the best thing for you to do is to have a lot of time on your hands to do that. Okay, but if you don't have time on your hands and you're busy doing stuff that you really, really love and that you enjoy, it's the best place to be, because you don't, and especially if you're working towards something that's going to make your life better. So if you are a writer and you're trying to make a bestseller, you know that you've got a goal there, you've got a vision for the future, and that gives you hope. And that's another thing that's a good idea to have. And you've got to have hope. You've got to have something that you're aiming for, that you're working towards, and you can see that you're making progress. Because that's one of the ways that you can feel really good about ourselves as human beings. We feel good when we've got a goal and we're working towards that goal, and we can see that we're making progress on that goal. We're getting better, even if the it's just incremental. if it's only getting better slowly, that's still better than nothing, than just being stuck and not knowing what to do. So find something for yourself that you can work towards. Get yourself a goal that's fun and inspiring, and get yourself into that flow state by working towards it, by trying to make it happen every single day, and everything around you will just disappear. Those worries will just disappear. You don't have time to worry if you're working towards grand visions that make you feel really good and pump yourself up. And one of the things that aids me when I'm doing stuff like that is I like to listen to some music. Like before I make a video, sometimes I listen to some music. When I'm writing a coaching email, if someone wants email coaching with me, I listen to music while I do that, or I listen to music, just to pump myself up and feel really good. It's one of those things that really helps me. So you got to think of ways that can help you get into that good frame of mind and can pump you up and make you feel really good. It could be that you just walk around your room and you go, yes, 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 yes. Just get yourself really excited, right? And just imagine, one of the cool things you can do is you can imagine like your wish has been fulfilled. And you can just feel yourself and flood yourself with those emotions of how it will feel when you get the thing that you want. As if you've just won like the Super Bowl, or you've just like won the lottery or something. You just get yourself feeling phenomenal, and it's just a really cool way that you can do that. Now, of course, there are a lot of people out there who have suffered because at the hands of someone else. So what I would say to you is this: is that there's a great quote by Marcus Aurelius. Now, of course, I'm not saying that. If you've gone through any kind of anything that has just hurt you and someone has hurt you in some way, then obviously that's awful and really bad, and I'm very, very sorry for that. And in no way are you to blame for anything that's happened to you that has caused a lot of suffering, but at the hands of someone else, okay? So you have every excuse in the world to, be in that victim mentality and to feel sorry for yourself and to feel awful because something awful happened to you. Of course, you have every right to feel that way. But what I'll say to you is this: there's a quote by Marcus Aurelius, and this is really powerful for me as someone who has suffered at the hands of someone else. And that is this: choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been. So it's about how you feel and how you frame what's happened to you in your life. It's all about framing and what that event means to you. You can choose, if you want to pretend. Even if it's just pretend that that person, that event didn't harm you. You can pretend that. You can make that up in your own head. That may be putting your head in the sand. That may be not facing reality. But sometimes reality isn't great to face. Sometimes, why not? Why not just pretend that you weren't harmed? Yeah, it happened, but it didn't harm you. It hasn't affected you. There's a great book by David Goggins called Can't Hurt Me. And I really love that title. It's such a cool title. Can't Hurt Me. So basically what that means is like, whatever you've done to me, I'm still going to achieve my goals. I'm still going to do what I'm going to do. I'm still going to have a happy life because you can't hurt me. You can, Viktor Frankl also sort of mentioned this in his book, Man's Search for Meaning, which is, all you have left in the end is your attitude to how you handle things and handle things that happen to you. Okay, it's always about how you frame it in your mind. And he was a victim of, he was in Auschwitz, I think. He was in a concentration camp where literally every human right was stripped away, and the only thing he had left with was his own attitude, and that was his power, and that's your power too. You always have the power to decide what your attitude is going to be. Wayne Dyer once said he actually met Viktor Frankl, and he went to some kind of event that he was at, and he recalled how Viktor Frankl was, even though he was in the worst place imaginable, he somehow managed to find beauty in it. He managed to find beauty in a bowl of just like water, basically, with a floating fish head in it. And he said he had to find the beauty because because that was his power. That was the only power that he had left. He had the power to just see life as beautiful despite where he was. And I think we all have that power inside of us. If someone in a concentration camp can find the meaning and find beauty in a bowl of disgusting water with a floating fish head in it, then we can decide and choose our attitudes to the things and events that happen to us. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video has helped you and inspired you, or maybe just taken the edge off whatever's going on with your life right now. And I wish you peace and I wish you the ability to change your attitude about the things that have happened to you or are happening currently. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.